The Demiurge Deception, how Yahweh became a cosmic tyrant and the true God was erased from history. Episode 2. Welcome to Positive Vortex, where hidden truths and ancient mysteries collide. In part 2 of the Demiurge Deception, we journey deeper into the cosmic rabbit hole, exposing the biggest spiritual deception in human history. What if everything we've been told about God, reality, and our purpose was intentionally designed to keep us spiritually imprisoned? Join me now as we uncover the hidden war between the true Creator and the cosmic tyrant known as the Demiurge. Once you awaken to this truth, your perception of reality will never be the same again. Let us now pull you deeper into the rabbit hole. What if everything you have ever believed about God was a lie, one designed to keep you spiritually enslaved? What if the very fabric of our reality was not created by a benevolent being, but by a cosmic tyrant, hell-bent on controlling human souls? What if the ancient texts, scriptures, and holy books of the world were rewritten, manipulated, and selectively edited to keep humanity blind to the truth? What if our world, this physical existence, is not our true home, but a prison designed to feed the energy of our suffering to an insatiable cosmic parasite? What if the greatest trick ever played on mankind was making us believe that the God we worship is actually the architect of our enslavement? The Demiurge Deception is the greatest cover-up in human history, a story so dangerous that entire civilizations have been built to protect the lie and bury the truth. In part 1, we explored how the Demiurge emerged as a false god, why early Christians like Marcion saw Yahweh as a malevolent being, and how the ruling elite erased the true divine creator from history. But this deception goes even deeper than we imagined. The truth is hidden in plain sight. The symbols of our enslavement are all around us. And if we do not wake up soon, the final phase of the Demiurge's plan will be completed, forever trapping human consciousness within his domain. This is part 2, where we uncover the hidden teachings of the ancients, the forbidden history of the Demiurge's bloodlines, and the esoteric keys to breaking free from the cosmic prison. Because once you see the cage, you cannot unsee it. 1. The hidden war between the true Creator and the Demiurge. What if the battle between good and evil is not between God and Satan, but between the true Creator and the Demiurge? For millennia, we have been led to believe in a simple narrative. God is good. Satan is evil. Heaven is the reward for the righteous. Hell is the punishment for the wicked. But what if this is only half of the story? What if both God and Satan, as we know them, are actually two sides of the same deception? The two creations, the split between the true God and the false God. In the Gnostic texts, there is a shocking claim. There are two gods. One is the true Creator and the other is the false God, the Demiurge. One, the true Creator, the unknowable source, beyond time, space, and matter, exists in pure divine light, created the original realm of pure consciousness, pleroma, gave birth to divine beings known as eons, who were meant to share in divine knowledge. 2. The Demiurge, the false creator, born out of ignorance and error, created the physical world as a prison, declared himself to be the only God demanding worship, rules through fear, suffering, and control. Could it be that the God of the Bible, the God of wrath, jealousy, war, and control, is not the true Creator but the Demiurge? The Gospel of Judas, a banned and forgotten text, claims that Jesus laughed at his disciples for worshipping the false god Yahweh. Was Jesus trying to free humanity from the Demiurge's control? 2. The great lie, how the Demiurge erased the true Creator from history. The biggest deception in human history was not political, not financial, not even scientific. It was spiritual. If the true creator is beyond the Demiurge's control, then why do billions of people worship the false god? How the Demiurge hijacked religion. 1. Judaism. The God of the Old Testament, Yahweh, is a vengeful, warlike, and jealous deity who demands worship, blood sacrifice, and absolute obedience. 2. Christianity. The original teachings of Jesus, which exposed the Demiurge, were erased, rewritten, and replaced with a false narrative of submission and blind faith. 3. Islam. Allah is portrayed as a god of absolute control, rewarding those who submit and punishing those who question. 4. Hinduism and Buddhism. The concept of karma and reincarnation may be a mechanism of control, forcing souls to return to the physical prison over and over. What if the world's major religions are all different versions of the same lie, crafted by the Demiurge to keep humanity obedient? What if the God worshipped in churches, mosques, and temples around the world is not the true creator, but the cosmic tyrant keeping us enslaved? 3. The Archons, the Demiurge's prison guards. Who enforces the Demiurge's control over humanity? The Archons, spiritual parasites that manipulate human thought, emotions, and desires, feed on fear, suffering, and ignorance, enforce the cycle of reincarnation, preventing souls from escaping the physical world, work through political, religious, and economic institutions to maintain control. Are the world's leaders, monarchs, and secret societies in contact with the Archons? Is the modern elite serving the Demiurge, keeping humanity trapped in an endless cycle of enslavement? 4. The final phase, the Demiurge's endgame. The control system has lasted for thousands of years, but now the Demiurge is preparing for his final move. The tools of the final lockdown. Ep2. 1. Artificial intelligence and transhumanism. The Demiurge's ultimate goal is to merge human consciousness with technology, cutting off our spiritual connection forever. 2. The metaverse and digital reality. By shifting human existence into a fully digital world, souls will be trapped in an artificial simulation, severed from divine reality. 3. Genetic modification and soul editing. The elites are obsessed with DNA manipulation, but is this about health or about preventing humanity from accessing higher consciousness? 4. Mass surveillance and mind control. The rapid expansion of AI-driven surveillance, thought policing, and media manipulation suggests a coordinated effort to eliminate free thought and spiritual awakening. What if the so-called Great Reset is actually the Demiurge's final act, ensuring that humanity never escapes his control? 5. The forbidden texts. Lost scriptures that expose the Demiurge. What if the truth about our world was written down long ago, but systematically erased, hidden, or reinterpreted by the Demiurge's followers? Throughout history, entire books, scriptures, and mystical teachings have been burned, banned, or buried. But some of them survived. These hidden texts, often labeled as heretical by religious authorities, reveal a different story about our origins, our purpose, and the prison we live in. Let's dive into some of the most dangerous and forbidden texts in human history. Texts that expose the Demiurge, the false god, and the hidden truth of our existence. The Nag Hammadi Library, the Gnostic scriptures that reveal the Demiurge's lies. In 1945, an astonishing discovery was made in Egypt, a collection of ancient texts that had been hidden away for nearly 1,600 years. These texts, known as the Nag Hammadi Library, contained secret teachings of Jesus, lost gospels, and mystical knowledge that had been erased from mainstream Christianity. What did these texts reveal? 1. The Apocryphon of John describes Yaldabaoth, the Demiurge, as a false god who created the material world in ignorance. Says that this world is a prison designed to trap divine souls. Reveals that the true creator exists beyond the Demiurge's control and that humanity has a divine spark within. 2. The Gospel of Thomas. Unlike the Bible's Gospels, this one contains no miracles, no crucifixion, no resurrection. Instead, Jesus speaks in mystical riddles, teaching that the kingdom of God is not in the sky, not in a church, but inside you. Suggests that awakening to your divine nature is the true path to escaping the Demiurge's control. 3. The Gospel of Judas. In this shocking text, Judas is not a betrayer but a liberator. Jesus laughs at his disciples for worshipping the false god Yahweh, calling him a blind and foolish ruler. Jesus tells Judas that he alone will help free him from the material world, implying that his crucifixion was a necessary escape from the Demiurge's prison. Why were these texts buried? Because they revealed that the physical world is an illusion. Jesus was teaching people how to escape, not worship a false god. The Dead Sea Scrolls. Did the Essenes know the truth about the Demiurge? The Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in 1947, are some of the oldest surviving religious texts ever found. They belong to an ancient sect called the Essenes, a group that lived in isolation, rejecting the mainstream Jewish religion. Believed the world was ruled by two opposing forces, light and darkness. Practiced mystical rituals and ascension techniques to break free from the material realm. Were the Essenes one of the last groups to openly resist the Demiurge? Could it be that Jesus himself was connected to them, teaching the same secret knowledge? The Book of Enoch, the truth about the fallen watchers. The Book of Enoch is one of the most mysterious and controversial ancient texts. Banned from the Bible, it tells a completely different story about angels, humans, and the creation of the world. According to the Book of Enoch, 200 fallen angels, the Watchers, descended to earth and corrupted humanity. They gave forbidden knowledge, including technology, alchemy, and spiritual wisdom. The Demiurge, Yahweh, declared war on these angels, fearing that humans would become too powerful. Could it be that these fallen angels were actually trying to free humanity from the Demiurge's control? If so, what does that say about who the real oppressor was? 6. The Demiurge's architecture. The symbols of control hiding in plain sight. If the Demiurge has ruled this world for thousands of years, wouldn't there be signs of his influence? The truth is, the symbols of the Demiurge's power are everywhere. They have been embedded into religion, government, finance, and even entertainment. The black cube, the hidden symbol of the Demiurge, one of the most mysterious and powerful occult symbols that appears across history, is the black cube. But what does it represent? The black cube is the symbol of Saturn, the planet associated with the Demiurge, time and control. It appears in Mecca, the Kaaba. The holiest site in Islam is a massive black cube worshipped by millions. Wall Street. A black cube monument sits in the financial district, where global banking elites control the world's money. The Vatican. The black robes of the clergy and the cube-shaped altars symbolize a hidden worship of Saturn, not the true creator. Is the black cube a sign of humanity's enslavement to the Demiurge's system? 7. How to break free from the Demiurge's control. If this world is a prison, then how do we escape? The good news is that the Demiurge's control is not absolute. There is a way to break free, but it requires awakening to the truth and reclaiming your divine power. Step 1. Recognize the illusion. Stop blindly believing in the mainstream religious narrative. See the patterns of control in politics, media, and finance. Understand that fear, guilt, and suffering are the Demiurge's tools. Step 2. Reconnect with the true Creator. Meditate and connect to your higher self. Practice energy work, astral travel, and lucid dreaming. Study forbidden knowledge and seek wisdom beyond mainstream teachings. Step 3. Break the cycle of reincarnation. The Archons use karma as a trap. Refuse to be reincarnated into the Demiurge's world. At the moment of death, choose to ascend beyond the material realm. Seek the light of the true Creator, not the false white light of the Demiurge's system. Thank you for joining me on this revealing exploration into the heart of cosmic deception. Remember, awareness is your greatest weapon against spiritual enslavement. Continue seeking the truth and reclaim your divine power. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore the links below for further awakening. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay curious, and never stop questioning.